Hey there, Sketchnoters. Welcome to this week's element lesson. We are going to look at icons. And icons are just all the little doodles that you find in a sketchnote. They don't need to be there. We will see some examples throughout this course that don't have any doodles at all. But when we look at the dual coding theory, something I've linked to this week's post, having those visuals and attaching them to words certainly does help us increase our retention and understanding, right? It helps us remember longer. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I've never been much of a doodler. I wasn't the kid that doodled in the margins of my books. This is something I came into later in life. So I have some tricks that I'm going to share with you this week to show you how I help myself be a better doodler. I'm a big fan of Dave Gray's visual alphabet. And just like we write with the ABCs, when we draw, these are the characters that we use. If you can draw these, you can draw anything. And here's what I mean. Have a look at these objects on the left. There's a coffee cup, there's a camera, there's a pizza. Reflect, and if you're doing the course with someone, talk to someone about the shapes you see in the coffee cup, in the camera, and in the pizza. They can all be made with the characters from the visual alphabet. Take a minute and pause the video. Okay, so what did you find? Did you see the coffee cup is simply made up of some rectangles and then some arcs? How about the camera? It's just a rectangle, some lines, and a circle. All they've done is shade it in the bottom. And finally, the pizza is a triangle, an arc, a circle, and dots. So these three items were drawn with between 2 and 4 characters from the visual alphabet. So let's give it a try. I'm going to ask you to create some items using the visual alphabet. First thing I want you to create is a light bulb. Think about the shapes that you see and pause the video. So, did your light bulb look like this? Or perhaps it looked something like this. Light bulbs we often see in school are fluorescent after all. On to our next item. How about a dog? Can you draw a dog using the visual alphabet? Think about the shapes and again, pause the video. Maybe you drew a dog that was face on, or maybe you drew a dog that had a full body. In either case, both are dogs. It's how you envision the dog, because remember, your doodles need to make sense for you because your notes need to make meaning for you. On to the next one. How about a spaceship? What can you see in your brain that makes up a spaceship from the visual alphabet? Remember, doodles should only take 10 to 20 seconds, so don't spend too much time on them. Pause the video now. So did you draw a rocket ship? Or perhaps you drew a UFO. I generally have people do either of these when I present this workshop live, and I just tell them really, at the end of the day, they're both spaceships. It really just depends what planet you're from. Okay, the last one that we are going to create is going to be freedom. Because really, when it comes down to it, we're never going to have to really draw just a light bulb or a dog or a spaceship. Our icons represent something. So light bulbs could be ideas or innovation. A dog could be best friend or animals, and a spaceship could be future or space. So now we're going to go the other way. Instead of just thinking about a concrete item, we're going to take the abstract item and turn it into something concrete. So think for a minute. What could represent freedom to you? Then think about what aspects of the visual alphabet you see in that shape and try to create it. Pause the video one last time. So when I think about freedom, I go to my home country and I draw a Canada flag. If you're ever looking for ideas, when I was first starting up, I could honestly tell you that Google must have thought I was a little bit crazy because I Googled the words easy draw and then something else all the time. You can use the tools feature also in Google Images to find line drawings that might inspire you because they're ones that have been hand drawn for the most part. My other favorite place to go is the Noun Project at thenounproject.com. It has thousands of icons, and I use this all the time. Whenever I'm sketching, I usually have a second screen beside me. It's either my computer or my cell phone, and I look up things all the time. And like I said, sometimes I want to look up the word dog because I know what I want to sketch, but other times I don't know. What does freedom look like? So I search the word freedom and I take ideas from there. Finally, maybe you want to try something like Google's AutoDraw. This is a really cool tool because what it does is it allows you to type but also draw little doodles. And it doesn't matter what you draw because it uses artificial intelligence to figure out what it is it thinks you're trying to draw. Now, it does have a limited bank of icons it can use, but it's really helpful. And I'm going to link in a video on how to sketchnote using AutoDraw in this post. Now, I will say this, the best way to get your icons and doodles looking great is to practice every day. Keep up on those daily doodles I send every day, and you'll notice that your confidence will increase and sketchnoting will come to you with ease. So, go out and start doodling.